Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. I'm your host Ellen, and today we have 100 questions on Old English words. So I apologize from the beginning for the pronunciation mistakes. These are very difficult words. Here are our Quiz Class awards. And let's begin. What does the Old English word bedu mean? Bird, battle, or beard? Battle. Which modern word evolved from the Old English chleif weird? Lord, guard, or steward? Lord. What creature was referred to as nightingale in Old English? Bat, owl, or nightingale? Nightingale. The Old English beor became which modern word? Boar, bear, or beer? Beer. What does the Old English word theod, pronounced theod, what does theod mean? Thread, thought, or people? People. Which of these is not an authentic Old English word? Skip, forsooth, or fail? Forsooth. What modern word comes from the Old English Clayford? Lord, overlord, or landlord? Lord. We saw that before. The Old English fuggle became which modern word? Fox, fowl, or fish? Fowl. What does the Old English word beort mean? Brought, breath, or bright? Bright. Which Old English word meant knowledge? Cunnin, creft, or sepan? Creft. What modern word evolved from the Old English cleif dig? Laddie, landlady, or lady? Lady. The Old English dior became which modern word? Dare, deer, or deer, the animal? Deer, the animal. What does the Old English word skierpnes mean? Scornfulness, scariness, or sharpness? Sharpness. Which of these is a genuine Old English word for hero? Halep, heroa, or hero? Halep. What modern word comes from the Old English siniao? No, kneel, or knee? Knee. The Old English swoster became which modern word? Sweets, sister, or swaster? Sister. What does the Old English word blosma mean? Blossom, bloom, or blister? Blossom. Which of these is not an authentic Old English word? Man, beam, or yay? Ye, excuse me, that would be ye. What modern word evolved from the Old English Cleopan? Leap, help, or heap? Leap. The Old English year became which modern word? Yeast, year, or your? Year. What does the Old English word fager mean? Fair, far, or finger? Fair. Which Old English word meant sword? Swerd, sword, or sword? Sword. What modern word comes from the Old English clued? Loud, lute, or lewd? Loud. The Old English scaled became which modern word? Scaffold, should, or shield? Should. What does the Old English word sinwise mean? Keenness, kinship, or kingdom? Kingdom. Which of these is a genuine Old English word for ship? Ship with two P's, skip, or ship, S-C-H-Y-P? S-C-I-P, skip. What modern word evolved from the Old English clavge? Lady, lassie, or landlady? Or chlaifdiggy? Lady. The Old English dig became which modern word? dog, day, or dug? Day. What does the Old English word world sinning mean? War king, word cunning, or world king? World king. Which of these is not an authentic Old English word? Helfan, waiter, or huzzah? Huzzah. What does the Old English word freedom mean? Freehold, freedom, or free will? Freedom. Which modern word evolved from the Old English chleif macy? Lamas, loafmas, or leafmas? Lamas. What creature was referred to as raven in Old English? Hare, raven, or rat? Raven. Raven. The Old English Mona became which modern word? Moon, man, or main? Moon. What does the Old English word thrim mean? Glory, trim, or throne? Glory. Which of these is not an authentic Old English word? Huse, bearn, or verily? Verily. What modern word comes from the Old English chleifeta? Laborer, lord, or loafer? Lord. The Old English fisk became which modern word? Fish, fisk, or fist? Fish. What does the Old English word leot mean? Loft, loot, or light? Light. Which Old English word meant wisdom? Wiseness, wisdom, or Weisheit? Wisdom. What modern word evolved from the Old English Clayford sin? Landlord, lordkin, or lordling? Lordkin. The Old English trio became which modern word? Tro, true, or tree? tree. What does the Old English word world strange mean? Worldly power, word strength, or world string? Worldly power. Which of these is a genuine Old English word for warrior? Wera, warrior, or wigga? Wigga. What modern word comes from the Old English Neowian or Neowian? No, kneel, no or kneel. Two choices, no or kneel. Kneel. The Old English Swoster Sunu became which modern word? Sister, son, nephew, or cousin? Nephew. Swoster Sanu. What does the Old English word blodrio mean? Bloodthirsty, blood river, or blood red? Bloodthirsty. Which of these is not an authentic Old English word? Thou, don, or gain? Thou. What modern word evolved from the Old English Cleoper? Leaper, leper, or helper? That's Cleoper. Leper. Question 50. The Old English Giardagus became which modern phrase? Days of yore, garden days, or good days? Days of yore. What does the Old English word Skype mean? Frenzy, friendship, or fresh shape? Friendship. Which Old English word meant swordplay? Swordplay, sword game, or sword plega? Sword plega. What modern word comes from the Old English Cleophor, Cleothor, lather, lore, or lure? Lore. The Old English scald became which modern word? Should, shield, or scaffold? Maybe you will remember this. Should. What does the Old English word worldcraft mean? Warcraft, wordcraft, or secular knowledge? Secular knowledge. Which of these is a genuine Old English word for book? Book, boke, or buck? Boke. What modern word evolved from the Old English chleifdigi sin? Ladykin, ladylike, or ladyship? Ladykin. The Old English day candle became which modern word? Day star, sunlight, or sun? Sun. What does the Old English word worldheid mean? Worldheid. Secular state, warhead, or wordhead? Secular state. Which of these is not an authentic Old English word? Eag, prithee, or mupe, or muth? Prithee. What does the Old English word elda mean? Alter, ale, or old? Old. Which word evolved from the Old English? Clayfeard, dome. Leadership, lordship, or landlordism? Lordship. What creature was referred to as fear in Old English? Pig, frog, or fox? Pig. The Old English skeepneys became which modern word? Scorpions, scarceness, or sharpness? Sharpness. What does the old word theostru mean? Theostru. Thirst, darkness, or thrust? Darkness. Which of these is not an authentic Old English word? Beyond, gain, or anon? Anon. What modern word comes from the Old English clayfeard settle? Throne, lordly seat, or lord house? Throne. The Old English fogle timber became which modern word? Fowl, wing, or birdhouse? Wing. What does the Old English word leotbora mean? Light bearer, lighthouse, or light bulb? Light bearer. Question 70. Which Old English word meant knowledge? Sipan, kanan, or craft? Craft. What modern word evolved from the Old English Clayford gift? Largus, landlord, or legacy? Largus. The Old English triau sin became which modern word? Timber, species of tree, or trunk? Species of tree. What does the Old English word world geritu mean? Secular documents, word growths, or war records? Secular documents. Which of these is a genuine Old English word for sword? Sword, sword, or meese? Meese. What modern word comes from the Old English neo-rim? Neo-rim. Horizon, kneeling, or kneecap? Horizon. The Old English swester bairn became which modern word? Cousin, sister born, or nephew niece? Nephew niece. What does the Old English word bloodrine mean? Blood river, bloodshed, or bloodline? Bloodshed. Which of these is not an authentic Old English word? Forsooth, Helfon, or Eorth? Eorth. Forsooth. What modern word evolved from the Old English? Cleopitan. Leaping, helping, or limping? Limping. The Old English giardagum became which modern phrase? Garden days, in days of yore, or good days? In days of yore. What does the Old English word friandlias mean? Friendless, freelance, or free release? Friendless. Which Old English word meant battle play? Weigeman, bidoplega, or theospil? Bioduplega. What modern word comes from the Old English? Cleothorswide. Cleothorswide. Poetry, loud cry, or lordly speech? Poetry. The Old English skierpseeks became which modern word? Scissors, scalpel, or razor? Razor. What does the Old English word worldbrice mean? Worldly use, word breach, or war break? worldly use. Which of these is a genuine Old English word for library? Bocuse, library, or bowcord? Bowcord. What modern word evolved from the Old English Claifdiggy man? Ladylike, landlady, or bridegroom? Bridegroom. The Old English daigmeal or daigmail became which modern word? Sundial, horology, or daymark? Horology. What does the Old English word worldthinship mean? Word growth, world thought, or worldly honor? Worldly honor. Which of these is not an authentic Old English word? Tunge, NASA, or Nasu, or zounds? Zounds. What does the Old English word worldstradung mean? Worldstradung. World structure, worldly plunder, or word study? Worldly plunder. Which modern word evolved from the Old English Clayford Swicca? Landlord, lordship, or traitor? Traitor. What creature was referred to as Crus Muse in Old English? House mouse, mole, or field mouse? Mole. The Old English skirneb became which modern word? Scalpel, scissors, or hawk? Hawk. What does the Old English word thrislice mean? Thrislice. Boldly, thrice, or thirstily? Boldly. Which of these is not an old, authentic English word? Brothor, fader, or sirrah? Sirrah. What modern word comes from the Old English Playford Hildo? Landlord, leadership, or loyalty? Loyalty. The Old English fagol dome became which modern word? Foul doom, bird kingdom, or freedom? Bird kingdom. What does the Old English word leot mean? Lightning, light frame, or creator of light? Creator of light. And question 100. Which Old English word meant battle rush? Waig rune, byd reas, or failed fair? Bydurius. Bonus question. What does the Old English word winsome mean? Let us know the answer in the comments. Let's take a look again at our quiz class awards. Please let us know how you ranked with this very difficult quiz. Thanks for being patient with me, and I hope to see you in our next one. Bye-bye.